but with the help of technology, we are going to be able to hear from him personally via a video message.
All across Africa, we cherish the ideal of a free society, one in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. We crave for an Africa that is economically strong and can be the envy of the world. We dream of an Africa that takes a lead in economics, good healthcare, infrastructure, science, technology, a real-life Wakanda kingdom, if you will. And as we do that, we should in equal measure also cherish the gift of education, because such a future of Africa requires knowledge, resources, and insight that only education can bring. The very fact that we are seated here today engaging with each other is testament to this gift of education that we have received at some point in our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, good people, my name is Godfrey Nti. I'm the chairperson of the MwanAfrika Education Foundation, MwanAfrika being Swahili for the child of Africa. Back to the topic of the importance of education. Perhaps it is by destiny that we are all gathered here today in Nelson Mandela, South Africa. But again, Mandela was himself a child of the universe, a child of all ages and of all people. Therefore, his message was for the world too. Nelson Mandela said this severally to African youth. Education is the most important weapon which could be used to change the world. The power of education extends beyond the development of skills we need for economic success. It can contribute to nation building and reconciliation. Young people must take upon themselves to ensure that they receive the highest levels of education possible so that they can represent us in future as future leaders. No country can really develop unless the citizens are educated. Education is the greatest engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that the son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine, that the child of a farm worker can become the president of a great nation. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, as long as we have uneducated children in Africa in the numbers that we unfortunately do, our African dream may just be that, a dream. Seeing in this light, it goes without saying that an uneducated African child endangers our collective African aspiration. And in the true interconnected African spirit of Ubuntu, an uneducated child makes our life poorer, even if it is not our child or direct relative. Unfortunately, education remains an inaccessible right to over 32 million African children according to Humanium Child Protection and Advocacy Group, a number which is just under half of the world's 70 million uneducated children who are of primary school age. Whilst perennial causes like poverty, marginalization, conflict, and financial deficits of African countries can all explain this number, MwanAfrika has, however, chosen conflict as its own single primary cause for concern. In Africa, we are no strangers to conflict. At any given moment over the last 5 to 6 decades, Africa has always had at least 20 conflicts brewing. Today, we know of conflicts in South Sudan, Mali, Northern Nigeria, DRC, Ethiopia, Eritrea, and yes, behold, we know of the conflict in the former Southern Cameroon, a region officially today known as Anglophone regions of Cameroon. All too often, uneducated children are tricked by external forces to fight and sustain these conflicts, whilst at the same time, these conflicts just keep minting new uneducated children due to the insecurity and stability that comes with conflicts. A truly vicious cycle and scourge that, if not broken, will rid these children of ever reaching their full potential, and at the same time rid us all of our collective Africanness. It is for this reason that we're here. It is for this reason that we're launching MwanAfrika. MwanAfrika Education Foundation is a non-political initiative that seeks to cater for the educational needs of marginalized children right across Africa, irrespective of their race, their gender, their nationality, their creed, you name it. MwanAfrika is duly incorporated in South Africa as a not-for-profit organization, but certainly intends to have a global presence in future. MwanAfrika is already benefiting from quality input from a dynamic team of over 16 subject matter experts from over 7 countries around the world who have been working tirelessly over the last several months to help shape the mission and strategy of the organization. We thank them immensely for this. MwanAfrika has adopted the ongoing conflict in the English-speaking part of Cameroon as its initial program, because it is one that has been shocking our collective conscience at every turn over the last 4 years. Of course, in time, working through partnership with similarly minded organizations, MwanAfrika intends expanding its relevance across the African continent. The ongoing war in Cameroon's Anglophone region since 2017 has so far resulted in the loss of over 10,000 lives and over 1.5 million Anglophones displaced, an estimated 600,000 of them being children. Whilst the recent incidents of mass killing of over 7 children in Kumba, a town in the southwest region of Cameroon, may be fresh in our minds, it is worth noting that since the inception of the war 3 years ago, over 80 schools have been destroyed, hundreds of students and teachers killed, and hundreds of thousands of them exposed to violence, abduction, and intimidation. Some of these displaced children, and in some cases, together with their parents, are living in forests and hills in the Anglophone regions, whilst others have sought refuge in neighboring Nigeria and in other West African countries like Ghana and Liberia. Details are sketchy at best. The United Nations Refugee Agency in Nigeria reports that more than 100,000 Cameroon refugees were registered in Nigeria as of March 2020. Of this number, 53% of them are children. However, some orphanages, churches, and other benevolent groups in Nigeria all report of hundreds of thousands of Cameroonian refugees who are not yet registered by UNHCR. While some of these Cameroonian refugees in Nigeria have been enrolled in local primary schools, a vast majority of them can barely survive, with no access to education whatsoever. Our modus operandi as MwanAfrika shall be to engage and align all key stakeholders towards a singular outcome, which is to provide access to education and training to the suffering English-speaking Cameroonian children. So far, as part of our gap analysis on the ground, we have been in contact with local communities, local governments, schools, orphanages, faith-based groups, host families, donors, child psychologists, you name it. The purpose being to understand what the true need is and the geographical spread of the needy children. We aim at using creative approaches to research, secure education, skill development to improve on the livelihoods of children at primary, secondary, and tertiary levels. This will be done through working with a stellar collection of stakeholders that we have already identified on the ground and are now working with. At this time, even with its meager resources, MwanAfrika has already identified a small number of projects that it would like to start rolling out. Way more work still needs to be done though, to roll out bigger projects that would benefit more of these children. Not only the projects need to be resourced, MwanAfrika as an organization also needs further resourcing and capacitation to carry out its mission effectively. This is where you all come in. This entire initiative will fall completely flat without supporters like you. We recognize that it is a particularly difficult time to raise funds in this very early stage of the development of a not-for-profit organization that has not yet had any kind of solid track record of its own. However, it is this very fact that explains why we chose to launch this project in front of you all. Because we know that some of you know us personally as much as we know you. We are hoping that you can trust us to stay true to this noble cause and to put the hard-earned donations to good use for the service of the objectives of MwanAfrika. For this, we promise full transparency and accountability. Please, help us breathe hope into the lives of these suffering children. Please open your wallets and donate. We also welcome moral support. We also welcome volunteers. Please dive in and let's make a difference. I would like to end here by thanking you all for being here. We all have with MwanAfrika a good conduit to make a significant difference in the lives of affected African children. We all have in MwanAfrika a good conduit at that, to make a significant difference in the lives of all Anglophone children. We all have in MwanAfrika a good conduit to help make our African aspiration a reality. God bless us all. Thank you.